Hey, what's up guys? Today's lesson is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be diving into my approach to the solo at the beginning of this video. When I was writing this solo before shooting this video, there was 3 elements I really wanted to work on and go over in today's video. One being that we need to look at the chords before we start the solo. We can develop what scales we want to use by looking at the chords and really get a good sense of what notes to be playing during the solo. The second thing is a concept I call rhythmic contrast. Basically, playing something slow and then contrasting by playing something fast, and it really adds a lot of depth and dynamics to the solo rather than always playing a similar type of rhythm throughout the solo. And then lastly is how we can use and maximize the pickup selector on the guitar to create different sounds and actually exaggerate the feel we're going for the particular song. Alright, this song is very simple. It's based in A minor, and there's only 2 chords that I'm really thinking about during the solo. The solo starts with this little A riff going. And it's kind of doing that, but when I'm coming to the solo, I'm really just thinking kind of a simple A chord. I'm not really thinking about all the notes that are happening in that riff. I'm jumping into the solo thinking A minor pentatonic, but I do notice in the riff, particularly on that little riff, that I'm playing an F sharp note. And that note's not in the A minor pentatonic, it's not in the A minor pentatonic scale. The A minor pentatonic scale is A, C, D, E, G. And that's an F sharp, so that's A, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. And so that's a cool little note. I'm like, oh, I can throw that in there. I'm gonna keep that in mind. And it's actually really, really important, and it explains kind of the theory behind it when we go to the second part of this chord progression, where it's a D chord based thing, doing like that. And I'm actually playing a D major chord, which spells out to be D, F sharp, A. All right, so you see that F sharp there again. Now, diatonically speaking, when someone says A minor, it's kind of assuming an F natural note in there, and we're playing an F sharp. So we could get into scale, like modal explanations, but I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking pentatonic, and I'm like, oh, I can throw the F sharp in there, cool, because it's in the D chord that is in the second part, and it's also in the riff on the A chord. All right, so now that we talked about the chords and the scales that we're kind of using over this song, let's talk about concept 2, which is rhythmic contrast, and using that in our solo. I wanted to start off, since the groove and the riff is so rhythmic and it taking up a lot of the rhythmic field in the song, I wanted to start off kind of laid back and kind of relaxed and just not even really playing too rhythmic. And I'm thinking just straight kind of A minor pentatonic. And I started off, I'm trying to emulate like a slide sound kind of thing, going something like that. And really what I'm doing there is I'm creating like a C chord shape here on the D string 10, 9th string, G string, and then 8th fret on the B, which is it's just a C triad. And then I slide that up 2 frets to the A note. And I just do a little right there. I'm just going to the minor third, up 3 frets after that, and doing a slight bend to it. So, all right, and then I do another phrase. It's kind of slide sounding. I'm going. In this, I'm actually throwing the F sharp note, but I'm actually targeting a D triad. This is over the A chord still though. But it's just like a almost like a rake, but I'm actually playing the chord. And I just do that right there on 10-13, just a right. And then at this point, I'm noticing, okay, it's about to change chords to the second section of the song. Let me kind of die out these phrases here, and I just do like a little walk down. I go right here, go. So I got right on part 2, phrase 2, we're here. Do something like that, just walking down back to position 1, A minor pentatonic. But so it's still kind of super laid back, free flowing. I'm not really paying attention to the rhythm of the song in any way. I'm just kind of grooving over that, creating that sound. Important to notice, I'm on the middle pickup selector there. I tried the neck works really well too. The middle had a little bit more punch to it. I wanted a nice smooth sound from the neck, but I wanted a little bit punch to it. And it kind of went with the vibe I was going for, I thought. And so now we've done the kind of 3 little phrases there, and I'm like, okay, the D chord's about to come up. It's about to change to the next part of the song. This is a great time. I want to build intensity on that. Let's do a fast run into the next part of the song. So I jumped up here to position 3, A minor pentatonic, and I just do something along the lines of like, something right there. And I'm just doing A minor pentatonic, position 3, which looks like this. So it's 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. Then we got a 9, 12 on the G, 10, 13 on the B, and then 10, 12 on the high E. Now I'm not playing the whole scale shape, I'm just doing a little pattern kind of bass in there. I have other lessons on different pentatonic licks that you could use. But it's really, the important thing is why I did that. I was trying to build intensity into the next chord change, and this run only happens like for a measure or 2. It's very, very brief. And I made sure to end with this bend here on the 13th fret of the B string, which is a C note, and I bend it a whole step to the D note, which is the chord that's happening. Right? At the same time, going back to the pickup selector, I push down on the pickup selector, and it just adds, the bridge pickup adds a lot more intensity, a lot more sparkle to the sound, and a lot more aggression, which is what I'm going for this next section of the song. Also in this next section, I kind of changed the way I'm looking at the scales here. We're not changing the key or anything like that, but I've noticed this is kind of in D minor pentatonic position 1, which is right there. So we just did this position 3, A minor pentatonic run, but I'm like, oh, it's a D chord now. Let me change how I'm thinking about it. It's kind of, let's just think about it as D minor pentatonic. So I kind of changed my approach, and I'm thinking very much like 70s rock and roll licks, but I'm trying to add some more rhythm in there, hence rhythmic contrast. Earlier was a lot more fluid and smooth. Right here, we're trying to be more punchy with the rhythm there. And a lot of licks, listen back, is very inspired by a song called Pack It Up and Go by UFO. It's on their Obsession album. Definitely go check that out. You got a lot of cool licks in that song. But it's just kind of old 70s, late 70s kind of rock licks. At least that's the kind of way I think about it. Something along those lines, really just trying to hit with that groove. And then, coming up, I'm like, oh, it's about to go back to the A chord. Let me end this little section here. And I just kind of do a little walk down of the scale. And then the song's about to end. It's back on the A section. And at this point, I'm just going back to A minor pentatonic position 1. I'm just kind of doing, I'm not even thinking right now at this point. I'm just kind of just riffing. Just kind of making a bunch of sounds. I know the solo's about to be wrapped up, so there's not much approach theory going on there. All right, as a quick wrap up, when you're approaching a solo, always think about the chords, think about the rhythm that they're using in the song, and think about what notes sound good over those chords. And then when you start approaching your solo, I know a lot of my students, they always come to me, they're like, I keep playing the same licks, I run out of ideas and all this. I need to learn more licks, which is obviously a great thing. You should learn more licks. But at the end of the day, being able to maximize what you already know now by using different pickup selectors, by using different rhythmic contrast with the licks, and just timing different notes or different phrases and licks, and being conscious of that. And this might work better over this chord. Let me save it and not use it right now, right? Because we could totally have, like the licks we done on the D chord, the more rock, whatever we did, I could have totally came in the solo. Right? I could have totally done that, and it would have sounded fine, but now there's really no going up from that. I already have a punchy rhythmic thing. I'd have to diet down, that works too, but usually in a solo, I like to kind of build up and go back down. But that is approach, but a lot of students will jump into that, you start doing that rhythmic, like overly rhythmic kind of sound save. Then the chord changes, and they're doing the same exact ideas, and they're like, I keep repeating myself, just slightly nuanced things, but it's still repeating yourself. And really coming to and thinking rhythmic contrast, okay, I could totally come in on that chord and sound like that, but maybe I should come in a little slower. And You know, kind of free flowing. And then over the next chord, you're like, right? You just say it, and it's gonna, the impact of that and the dynamics you're gonna be adding to the solo is gonna be just amazing. It's gonna sound really, really good. I hope you found this video very helpful, and it really transforms the way you approach a solo and maximizes what you know currently and changes how your solos sound going forward. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.